Local elections in England and Wales are back on after a major government U-turn, and the fallout is still very much a political crisis that's continuing to haunt Keir Starmer's administration. Speaking in South Wales today, Sir Keir Starmer moved to shift the blame to local authorities, saying the original idea to delay polls was locally led. The Prime Minister told journalists, "Well, I think it's important to remind ourselves that the decision to cancel was a locally led decision, in the sense that each authority could decide. Yes, Labour authorities came forward to say, please delay, but so did Tory authorities, so did Lib Dem authorities." On Tuesday, Steeve Reed, the local government secretary, announced that the elections were back on ahead of a legal challenge by Reform UK. In a letter, he also confirmed that the government would pay Reform's legal costs, some £150,000. Addressing the legal challenge brought forward by Reform UK, Sir Keir added, "In relation to the position, we took further legal advice and, as you would expect as a government, having got further legal advice, we followed that legal advice." Steeve Reed, the local government secretary, is now facing calls to resign after being accused of acting unlawfully by cancelling the elections. Nigel Farage, Reform UK leader, said, "If a government minister does something illegal, they really ought to resign." Newly announced Shadow Chancellor for Reform UK, Robert Jenrick, called this a victory for democracy.
When you were the local government secretary during the COVID pandemic, apart from championing custard creams in your food parcels for people
you've got a good memory.
Stranded at home,
that was your fault.
They are God's biscuits, as you know. But on a serious point, you had councils there saying, why can't you delay elections because of social distancing?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, the governor of that day took the decision to postpone elections for 1 year because we were in the depths of the pandemic and there was social distancing, lockdown, etc. But the legal advice that the government received was very clear. These powers had to be exercised in the most judicious manner, and you certainly couldn't be delaying elections for 2 years, as the government was proposing to do in whole swathes of the country. Big councils like Norfolk and Suffolk. Look, Chris, I think this is a victory for democracy. The government has been forced, kicking and screaming, to go ahead with these elections. And why has it happened? Well, it's happened for one reason. Nigel Farage and Reform decided to bring this legal case. If they hadn't done, these elections would have been cancelled. This is a government with a pattern of behaviour now, Chris, about denying the voice of the people, whether it's jury trials or now elections. Time and again, Keir Starmer and his ministers want to reduce, frustrate, prevent the public from having their say and making their voices heard. And fortunately, Nigel Farage has won this big battle now, and these elections are going to go ahead. And my message to the public would be, well, use your votes now to send a strong message to Labour and, frankly, the Conservatives who are colluding in this, that you are not happy with the state of the country and that these elections, which they tried to cancel, now should be used to send a message to Starmer and the Conservatives.
Every time your phone connects to public Wi-Fi, anyone nearby could snoop on what you're doing. Hackers can steal your information, passwords, photos, and bank details in just seconds. ExpressVPN encrypts your connection, making it virtually impossible for hackers to access your personal information. ExpressVPN is so easy to use. With just one click of a button, you're protected. Streaming, banking, or shopping, you can switch between high-speed servers worldwide in seconds, and your connection never slows down. Click the link in the description or scan the QR code to get up to 75% off, plus 4 extra months free, all backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. Protect your online life today.
The impact of Keir Starmer's sudden reversal has left local councils scrambling and local government plans in disarray. Local leaders have described the situation as chaotic and deeply frustrating, saying that the government's U-turn has thrown years of planning into uncertainty. One council chief in Norfolk publicly accused Housing Secretary Steeve Reed of bullying local authorities, claiming that the last-minute change has damaged trust and stability, even threatening major devolution and council reorganisation deals as a result. Across England, hundreds of electoral teams are now in a race against time to organise elections that they had previously been told would not take place. Electoral officials had paused preparations amid the postponement plans, but now face compressed deadlines to book polling stations, recruit staff and inform voters for polls set for 7th of May 2026. Following the U-turn, Liberal Democrat leader Ed Davey urged his supporters to hold the Conservatives and Labour to account at the ballot box.
Labour and the Conservatives tried to prevent these elections. They tried their hardest because they're scared of the Liberal Democrats. Yay! But we've worked tirelessly to win for the voters the chance to vote in elections. Alison Bennett and all our 5 Liberal Democrat MPs across West and East Sussex have tried really hard making our arguments, and we have won. Yay! The government have conceded, and that is great news for people. And now the Conservatives in West Sussex and East Sussex have nowhere left to hide. Yay! So when it comes, hello. So when it comes to these elections, the Conservatives are going to have to be held to account. Yes. People remember what a disastrous government they ran, where the cost of living went through the roof, mortgage rates went up, and they didn't care. And people will remember the Conservative record on things like the NHS and local government. The Conservatives here in West Sussex and in East Sussex, they have run these councils in a dreadful way too. Look at the state of the roads. Look at our local services. So we are going to hold the Conservatives to account, and we are going to beat them. Yay! But don't get me started on Labour either. I started off disappointed when this government started failing. I'm now pretty angry on behalf of people. They've just got no ambition for our country, and they keep making mistake after mistake, and Labour need to be held to account too. And they tried to cancel these elections because they're running scared of reform. We aren't running scared of reform. We keep beating reform across the country. We're the only party willing to stand up to reform and to take the fight to reform. And because of our success against reform, people know that if they want to stand up to the division of Nigel Farage, they should back the Liberal Democrats.
With the U-turn meaning that local elections will now go ahead on the 7th of May, Labour is set to lose control of up to 6 councils when voters head to the polls. These include Blackburn with Darwen, Cannock Chase, Exeter, Preston, Thurrock and Worthing, all areas where Labour had the edge before the U-turn. Blackburn with Darwen in Lancashire has been highlighted as a potential loss for Labour after years of tightening competition from Reform UK and other opposition forces. Similarly, Cannock Chase and Preston, both councils where Labour currently holds key seats, are now expected to face strong challenges from Reform UK and the Conservatives amid a surge in local campaigning there. In the West Country, councils like Exeter and Worthing are also earmarked as vulnerable, with multiple seats up for grabs that could see Labour lose its majority or influence if opposition parties maintain momentum. And finally, Thurrock, where Labour has invested political capital in recent years. Analysts say that the race is now far more competitive, with Reform UK estimates suggesting that they could displace Labour councillors if turnout favours challengers.